Hey guys, today on the channel we're going to take a look at getting out stubborn Phillips head screws from your vintage Japanese or other vintage motorcycle engine cases. Now, why they use screws to begin with instead of nuts and bolts, I have no idea, but it's a pain in the neck. And it's made worse on something like this. This is a Honda ATC 70 engine. From 1974, this is 50 years old. These screws have been in there for 50 years. They've never been out. What happens is, since you have dissimilar metals, that makes it a little bit more difficult to get it out because they corrode in place. Now, you got a couple of different things that you can do to try to get these out, but you want to get them out without screwing them up, because otherwise you have to, if you're putting it back together as a restoration, you don't want your screws to be all screwed up as a result of putting so much torque on them. When I was a kid and I first started out, this was my go-to to try to get one of these things apart. This is just a Craftsman number 2 Phillips screwdriver. And the problem is, this is not compatible with these screw heads. This is an American number 2 standard. These are Japanese industrial standard. It's a different pitch. And what happens when you put this screwdriver in there and you turn it really hard, it's going to slip and it's going to screw up those heads. Enter number 2. This is a Vessel Japanese industrial standard screwdriver. This is the right size for these screws, but they are very, very tight. They don't want to come out. So for years, I would go to an impact driver. These work well. However, you got to put the engine in such a way where you can get at it. You whack this with a hammer and it will usually do the job. You have to be careful. So what have I been doing lately? Let me show you. So what I do these days is use one of these. This is the coolest thing. This is an impact driver adapter for an air hammer. This one's from Eastwood. So if you've got even a cheapy air hammer, you put this in the way you would put in any other air hammer bit. Get it in there and tighten it up. And then basically you've got an automatic air driver. So you put this in the screw, you hold it in place, you pull the trigger, you turn the handle a little bit, and it breaks those screws free in no time at all. Let me demonstrate. All right, so to use this is pretty simple. We're gonna put it in the screw. I'm gonna push down and pull the trigger at the same time. And then I'm going to just pull on this lever a little bit, and that should break the screw loose. Now, typically what I will do is heat these things up first if I'm trying to get them out without screwing them up. Just heat them up a little bit and then give it a shot with this. So let's see what happens. All right. With very little effort, that screw came right out. You can't beat that. All right, so in the space of literally 2 minutes, I took out every single screw. And here you can see what I'm talking about. This is that, I think they call this galvanic corrosion, right? These are why these are so hard to get out. But the beauty of it is, take a look, if we can focus on that screw. This is perfectly reusable. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna get the rust off of it. I'm gonna replate that head. And these are gonna be as good as new. So, in no time at all, what could be quite the chore is made simple by having this tool. All right, guys, so that's all there is to it. So this tool from Eastwood, just the hammer adapter, today, February 2024, costs about 23 bucks. You can't beat it. It's gonna get these out with no problems whatsoever. And it's just easier than beating on that hand impact driver. I've had some of these so tight that with the engine in a little jig like this, while I'm beating on it, I actually bend something on the other side. This is going to prevent you from doing that. So I would say you're going to need one of these. Don't be a knucklehead like me. If you notice the cat litter all over the place between the first video and this one, I turned this thing on its side with the cylinder off without draining the oil and had a big mess I had to clean up, and I'm going to have to clean that up again when I'm done. So in any case, guys, I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions. Subscribe if you're not already. And thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.